Thanks for tuning in to tonight's episode of the Mr. and Mrs. Show. I'm your host, Kokwi Selome Hansen, and we're bringing you the show you love to watch because it teaches you about marriage, love, and everything in between. Tonight, we have a fresh couple to talk with and to play games with, and we'll find out about their marriage, how they met, and how marriage has been for them so far. So, he's a pastor, and she's a medical counter assistant. Let's say hello to Mr. or Pastor and Mrs. Tsedi. Thanks for coming on the show. Look, you guys are full of smiles and giggles already. It's great to have you here. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
I love the matching outfits. So whose idea was this? Be honest. Who decided to match?
It's his idea.
Oh, really?
Yes.
He's the fashionista in the couple. No, but you look awesome.
Thank you.
Very, very beautiful. Okay, so you know what the Mr. and Mrs. Show is all about. We're going to chat a bit. We'll play a fun game.
Okay.
And hopefully you guys will go home with something nice as well.
Okay.
Okay. All right, let's get started then. About how you met. Okay. Should I defer to Pastor? Or would Mrs. like to take this up?
I think I would like
Go
to
ahead.
take it.
I'm
yeah.
intrigued. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We met on WhatsApp.
No. I wasn't expecting that.
Oh, yeah.
That's the last thing I expected you to say. How do you meet on WhatsApp?
I had an opportunity to represent my school, that is a Sojaman district, at the College of Cocoa, okay, at Kuforidua. And then we had a lot of lecturers who came and gave us education on peer education and sanitation. And so I had a friend who also is a minister in music. And then he happens to go to his church and minister.
Okay.
So the guy created a WhatsApp group and then included all the friends that he had. From junior high school, I have been using Lady Pastor for my nickname. So when I got a phone that had WhatsApp, that was actually the name.
Okay, that was your
Yes.
WhatsApp name, like you are.
So
okay.
I think when he saw the Lady Pastor, he thought maybe I was a pastor.
Obviously, I'm sure he
Yes,
thought.
so
'Cause
he-
he's a pastor.
Yeah.
I'm sure he was looking out. So he just caught his eye.
Yeah.
Lady Pastor. Okay.
Yeah, so he private WhatsApped me. And then when I also saw his profile picture, I didn't actually zoom to see who the person was. But then from the background, it looked like one of the lecture halls when I had the opportunity to go and study.
Okay.
And so I was like, hey, sir, wow, it's been a long time. Then he said, I'm not your teacher. So I now had to open the profile picture and see who was there. And then
Yes.
I when I saw the picture, I was like, no, I've not met this person before. I
Okay.
don't know him.
All right.
And so I was like, oh, I'm sorry. I thought you are one of my lecture teachers. And he was like, oh, how are you? And then as at that time, I was also using a profile picture and I took the picture close to his church. Yes.
Okay, so there's a lot of
Yeah.
mixed messages going on. He thinks you're a pastor. He probably
then
also
I
thinks
think-
that you've been to his church before, maybe to even preach, because he sees your name and thinks you're a lady pastor. So you're forming assumptions that are totally off.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
all right,
and,
keep going.
And so when he saw the picture, was like, where do you live? I said, okay, I live around the self-contained just before your church or after your church. Then was like, oh, okay, what do you do? As at that time, I was a teacher. And so I said, okay, I'm a teacher. I was like, okay, then I'm inviting you to church. But I never went. I'm inviting you to church, so come to church. So
Okay.
that is how the meeting was.
But you
So-
said you never went. So
Yes.
how? If he invited you, you never went then?
When we chat, I didn't see him. He didn't also see me because when he invited me, I didn't go. And I traveled. My mom lives in Takwa.
Okay.
So I traveled from Accra and I went to Takwa. And then when I was coming back to Takwa, my birthday was actually 31st March. So I decided to come on my birthday, but then I couldn't come. So I got here. I got to Accra on 31st May. Yes.
Oh.
So he actually proposed to me on 1st April. And it was like April.
Oh, okay. Wait, let's rewind. Because I'm still trying to join together. He invited you to church and you didn't come.
Yes.
And now we've gone to a proposal. So you have to fill in the gaps for me. How you went from she didn't accept your invitation to come to church and then you proposed.
Several times.
Okay. Yeah, so fill me in on that.
So she went to Takwa to meet the mother. So then on her way, I told her I wanted to meet her.
Okay.
Yeah, so I took her from the bus station and
Oh, so that was your first time meeting her
that
at
was
the bus
first time
station.
we met in
So
person.
how was that?
Yeah.
What was your impression of Lady Pastor, you know?
Well, it was a nice experience because I liked the way she could start a conversation. You know, I'm that reserved type.
Okay.
Unless I'm on the pulpit, then I'm a different person.
I see.
Yes.
Okay.
But apart from that, that's quelled in a little bit. But she was outspoken, ready to say something, ready to put in something. So I was able to enjoy the conversation that we had that day. So after that, I told her I had to go somewhere the next day. So after that, I would like to meet her. Yeah, because I had a good impression about her the first time we met. And prior to that, we'd already been talking on WhatsApp. So
Getting some of the preliminaries out of the way. So you knew he was a pastor
Yes.
when you met him by that time.
Yes.
Did at any point did that play into your mind to think, okay, did you have any preconceived notions about what it would be like to possibly date a pastor?
No. No, not at all.
Really?
Yeah.
Even though you didn't accept his invitation to come to church?
Yes, yes. And I didn't also think that he would have proposed to me. I mean, I was thinking far from a relationship, not to even talk of marriage. Yes. Yes. So he was a pastor, fine, and then he's nice. Yes, he's a nice gentleman. I really love men who are gentle.
So you tell me, Pastor, how you got to the point where you dated for a while, I'm assuming.
Yes.
How long did you date?
It's
2 years, almost 2 years.
Yeah, that's a good though.
Yeah.
So what did you learn about each other in that 2-year time period that made you decide, okay, we want to settle down?
a lot. A lot. But most often because of my ministry, and I was schooling at the same time also at that time. So we took most of our conversations on the phone, on WhatsApp.
Okay.
So yeah, it left us with a little time to meet in person. And she was also working at that time, so we didn't have time to meet. But we had most of our informations to know about each other on the phone, on WhatsApp.
This
So
WhatsApp, you guys
we
need
talk
to
a lot. We
give-
talk a lot on it. On
give
WhatsApp.
WhatsApp a donation for putting you guys together. They did a lot for you. Okay.
Yes, a lot. A lot.
This is really nice. We want to
Yeah.
have some fun with you guys. Okay, we want to find out a bit about each other and see how much you know about each other. So this is what we're going to do. We have a game we play here called How Well Do You Know Your Partner? Very simple. One of you is going to leave us. I'll be here with the other person. I'm going to ask you some questions.
Okay.
You'll answer them about your partner. And when your partner comes back in, we'll see how accurate your answers were.
Okay.
Whether they match up.
Okay.
So let's choose. Who's going to answer the questions and who's going to step out?
Okay, she'll do that.
She'll
So I
answer
should-
or she'll step out.
She'll answer the questions.
Okay. So you're going to excuse us. Pastor, please.
Okay.
As you go, we'll have a chat. And then when you come back, we'll find out how well they know each other. All right, time to get into some fun with Mrs. Tsedi. All right, how well do you know your partner? This is the game we're going to play now. It's an opportunity for us to find out a bit more about you and your partner, and for you to see whether you know certain intimate details about your husband, right? Okay,
Yeah.
let's get started. What does he normally do in his free time?
Read and watch films.
His favorite food?
Banku and okra stew or soup. The whole week, if you give it to him, he will
He'll eat
eat.
it.
Yes.
Great. Okay. What is his favorite time of the year?
On his birthday.
Oh, yeah. He likes celebrating his birthday. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so I see the two of you are wearing purple and white today. But what's his favorite color?
That's all.
Really? Purple.
Yes.
So that's why you wore it to the show. Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Then that he should get that easily then. Okay. What is his favorite fruit?
Banana.
So what's his hometown?
He's from Volta region and where?
Finally, what is his special name for you?
Okay, he normally uses darling, but
Aw.
yes, I call him KD. He shortens my name and calls me KD.
KD,
So
okay.
KD is
So
the day
darling
he's
or
happy,
KD?
he call you darling.
But he calls you KD as well.
Yes, KD very.
All right. Well done, Mrs.
Thank you.
But it remains to be seen how well actually you've done. Because when he comes back, we'll see if your answers measure up
Okay.
to his. Okay. So
Okay.
yeah, let's bring Mr. Tsedi back in, Pastor Tsedi, and see whether or not he and Mrs. are on the same wavelength when it comes to how well you know each other. Welcome back. I had a great chat with Mrs. Tsedi. We are watching the Mr. and Mrs. show. And Pastor Tsedi is back with us now. We're going to go through Mrs. Tsedi's answers to the questions I posed about her husband and see if she got them correct. Okay. So he's here to assess your performance.
Okay.
Here. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. We asked her what you normally do in your free time. What do you think she said?
Okay. Reading and watching movies.
Perfect answer. That's exactly what she said. Okay, your favorite food. What was her answer?
That's Banku and Okosi.
And she was very specific. She said soup or stew. Yeah. All right, you're doing very well.
Oh,
You've
yes.
recovered.
Yes.
You've recovered so far from the beginning. All right. What is your favorite time of the year, according to your wife?
My favorite time of the year.
Yes.
Well, it's December.
Yeah. Why? Why December?
Because it's a special day
Yeah.
for my father.
Oh
That's
yeah.
where my father was born.
Oh wow. Oh, that's very nice. That's very sentimental.
Very
I
close
thought you was
to-
going to say Christmas or something, but that's very nice that you remember your father. But unfortunately, that's not what she said. She gave me a different answer. Yeah, tell him.
Your birthday.
She said, so when is your birthday?
It's January.
Oh, okay. Very, very nice. She said
So
she does a lot for
small
you. She says she makes your birthdays very special every year.
Yes, she did.
That's good. Okay, so you've redeemed yourself.
Yes.
Very nice. All right. Your favorite color?
That's purple.
Perfect.
I got it.
I guessed that one because of the way you dressed today. So I had a feeling it
Yeah.
would be purple and white. So yeah, we were both right on that one. What's your favorite fruit?
My favorite fruit
Fruit.
is banana.
You do know your husband. She says she
got
eat a
it.
lot of
Yeah.
bananas. Yes, she does. Okay, your hometown. Has she ever been to your hometown?
Not yet.
Not yet, but you're gonna take her.
Yeah.
Where is your hometown?
In the water region.
What's it called?
Oh my.
Yes. And she, I think she's been practicing how to pronounce it because she really emphasized this memory. She did know. She did very well. Okay, and what is your special name for her?
My special name for her.
Yes, a pet name or a nickname that you have for her.
nickname, normally I call her K or Cat.
All right. It's
I'm
it's
in
close.
line.
You are.
Yes.
You're very much in line. Okay. Yeah, she said KD. KD or darling. That's nice. The smiles on their faces. You didn't do too badly though. I think you did quite well on the quiz. How do you think she did? She did well.
She did well.
Right. Okay, so you've been married 5 months?
Yes.
That's what I got.
Yes.
Okay, so you're quite fresh in here. Let's talk about your wedding day. So after all of your courtship and everything, and you were together 2 years, you decided to get married. How easy or difficult was this transition from dating to your wedding day and then eventually this marriage? KD.
Yes, I would say that it's difficult in terms of dating than the very D-Day. Yes, because dating it's not done a day. It's some couple of months depending on the people involved. And so that is when you get to assess all the wrongs and then the good. But preparing for wedding, it's a whole lot of work. I mean, I was my wedding planner.
Uh-huh.
Yes,
So you did a
so-
lot of work.
Yeah.
I did everything. In fact, he didn't even know how the whole thing was just. So this after the wedding was like, wow, you did a great job.
A great job. Okay, but did you have support from your family? And how did they feel about you marrying him, being a pastor and all of that? How did that play into you?
Well, I think that because he is a pastor, he did very well for preparing himself. I don't know. I would say that he has it in mind to get married because most of the cloth for the engagement was already bought.
Yes. He had to put down.
Yes. So I think he was secretly preparing himself. So putting ourselves together for the engagement was not, he just have to go for the list and see those that he does not have and then fill it.
Okay, how about this? So you're a pastor, obviously. You had invited her to your church several times. She didn't come. But now you're getting married. So I'm assuming you got married in your church. And how was that? Were you of the same denomination? Did you come from the same religious background? And so it was easy for you to go to his church? Or did you have to compromise somewhere? Tell me about that.
It wasn't easy because after we had met when she came back from Takwa, and then I proposed to her. So I told her she had to go and see the family so they will be able to know what to do, and then we'll take it from there. So she had to apparently go and meet the father.
Yeah.
And the father is a Muslim.
Aha! Surprise, surprise! We have an interfaith marriage here. Okay. So her dad is Muslim?
Yes.
All right.
Yes. And not just a strong one.
Strong.
All his life.
Devout.
Yes.
5 times a day praying.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And so when she went with the information, he said no.
Straight up.
Straight.
He said no, and then on top of it,
No,
he
that was
said
the second time. When he went the second
no. The second time was during his fasting, and so that one he has to tell me, "Hey, madam, don't come and spoil my fasting."
Oh wow.
But then on the first time, he said, "You know, when we dated for a year, I took him to my hometown. That is my mother's place. Okay. So my mother got to see him.
Okay.
Yeah, during December. So I introduced him to my mother. So she sat both of us down, including my visiting sister. Then she educated us, encouraged us, and advised us.
Okay, so mom was on board.
Yes.
Mom was cool.
But when I came back to Accra and I realized that the guy is serious. So I have to go and tell my father. My father said, no. Immediately I said the pastor. He said no.
Okay, so how did you get past the religious issue in the end?
I told him, and then he was like, okay, if your daddy says no, I also take him to my daddy. Give me his full name and just give me a week. That's all. So I don't know whether he did something.
That's the question. What did you do to convince her father to accept you?
Okay, prior to that time, God had already told me it was time for me to marry.
Okay.
So when she told me that, I knew it was just in line, because with my little knowledge theologically, it teach me that anything good that you're working towards has its stumbling blocks, that it will stop you. So if the thing is not good, there's nothing that will hinder you.
Okay.
It will just cause you to do whatever you want to do.
So you saw her father's refusal as that obstacle that you had to overcome.
Yes.
Because it's a good thing that's waiting for you.
Yes.
Okay.
So I just told her, just give me his name. I'll pray about it. I didn't tell her to pray about it, but I told her I'll take it to my father.
Okay.
Because I take God personally as my father. Because I'm the last one of my family, but I was very true. So when God called me, I decided all family out. God is my father, he's my mother, he's my everything.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
So you prayed about it?
Yes. So I told her, just give me his name. So I prayed over it for a whole 1 week. Then I called her and told her she should go back.
This is serious?
Yes.
He prays for a week.
Yes.
Says you go back to your father.
And
you went back, and what happened?
And then when I went back, my father told me, so how do you want to do it? Then I said, okay, we want to do the engagement the same day, and early in the morning, and perform the wedding later in the evening, like around 2. And then he said, I don't like it like that. Do the engagement on a different day and do the wedding on a different day.
But you must have been shocked though, because previously it was a straight
said
no.
Yes.
So did you ask him what changed his mind?
Oh.
So to this day you don't really know what happened,
don't know,
except he prayed.
Yes. Yes.
And the rest is history. Yes. So 5 months in, how is it?
Oh, it's great.
Yeah.
Because during the relationship, I didn't get time to see him. And I only see him once a week, which is Sunday after service. And even that Sunday, unless we are going for a conference and he's taking me along, if not, he will go here, preach here, come here. So we didn't really get to meet. We did most of conversation, communication, everything on phone.
WhatsApp.
But now,
There's WhatsApp again. This is WhatsApp
but
relationship.
now that we finally got into the same house, and it was a new house, and his father is a mason, so his father did the finishing, and my father painted.
Your father did the
So
painting.
we have the whole family in the room.
in your house.
Yes,
Not in your marriage, but in the house.
Yes, in the house, and so it's wonderful. I get to see him. Oh yeah, he's a nice person.
I like the way your voice changed right there. Let's talk to Pastor. Now you're a married man. Yeah. What's it like having your wife in the house?
Oh, it's been a nice experience. It's been a nice experience because living alone and doing things on your own, and you wake up and there's somebody to do it for you. Yeah, there's somebody to check up on you. And sometimes I'm tired from going for a program. I come and I'm asleep and she's praying for me.
Oh, wow,
I
beautiful.
believe in his ministry.
Yeah. We didn't really specifically mention this, but again, your father was Muslim. So were you Muslim and then you had to convert, or what did you do?
Yes, I was a Muslim.
You
I
went
didn't
to
know
your mom's-
yes.
You didn't know you end up being a pastor's wife. Now, does that come with some extra pressure or responsibility?
Yes, it
yeah?
does.
Tell me about that.
Yes, in the church, you are a mother of the church.
Mm-hmm.
The way you dress, the way you talk. In
Uh-huh.
fact, I don't really want to pretend, because you have to live a kind of life in the church, but that life truly has to be your life, not a pretend. So you are a different person in the house when you go to the church. So I have a lot of adjustments I had to do. It's a whole work, but God is my strength.
I know, it looks like you're doing well, though. He seems happy as well. Okay, we will take another quick break. And when we come back, I'm sure you got a lot of presents when you got married.
Yes.
Well, we want to give you a present as well.
Wow.
So we'll deal with that.
Okay.
Don't go anywhere. You're watching the Mr. and Mrs. Show. It's the Mr. and Mrs. Show, and Mr. and Mrs. Tsedi have been fantastic guests with us today. So we want to do something special for you, Pastor, Mrs. We like to do something here which we call the love box. Okay, so one of you is going to open one of the doors on the love box, pick whatever's inside, and then we'll see what you're going home with. Okay, so Mrs., are you going to do the honors?
Yes.
Okay, please go ahead.
Okay.
So pick whichever door you want to open, and let's see what's in there. Okay, you're going for V. Please have a seat. A lovely red envelope. You can open it and tell us what's in there.
Do you want to see?
Please let him see.
Wow, it's a tea set.
Oh, lovely.
Yes.
Oh, that's nice.
So don't joke with his breakfast.
There you go. She said it, your Milo and all that. So
Yeah.
you can use this to prepare that for him.
Yes.
Oh, that's fantastic. So yeah, on
for
behalf
me.
of the Mr. and Mrs. Show, we are happy to present you
That's beautiful.
with your newlywed tea set. Since you're 5 months in, we'll still call you newlyweds. Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
So, but before you go, do something for us. Again, you guys are newlyweds, technically. You had a good courtship, and you've been through a lot already, even as a couple. So what advice do you have for people watching you who are inspired by your story?
Yeah. Marriage is a beautiful thing. And so I believe that there is this culture that the man marries. Yes, the man marries. But sometimes you, the woman, you have enough support to give the little support of the man to marry. So it's better you support your man to get married than to stay in sin. And don't forget that marriage is a long road. And don't only put your focus on the wedding, the dress, the shoes, the makeups and all that, but try and work it out spiritually, because whatever happens in the spirit automatically, by thought, immediately happens in the physical. So if you want to take your marriage to the end, you must tackle it from the spiritual.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Pastor, your words of advice for the young men who are watching you.
Well, my marriage is a good experience. Yeah. But before anyone will venture into it, you must know that it is somebody that created it. If somebody created a television, he gave you a remote, he gave you a manual so they can be able to use it. So then it means that if you're going to enter into marriage, you must know the word of God. If you know the word of God, you'll be able to stay in there.
Man.
Because he is the one that created it. Because the Bible says in the book of Genesis that it's not good for a man to be alone. That is why woman came in. So if you're going to go into something that somebody created, you didn't create it yourself. Marriage is created by God. So it means that you must know the word so that it can be able to keep you in there, because that's the manual for it.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you. Pastor's wife smile, you know. She's got all the 32.
Yeah.
Amazing. Amazing. Okay. All right. So, Pastor and Mrs. Tsedi, again, on behalf of the Mr. and Mrs. Show, here is your newlywed tea set. Okay.
Beautiful.
Enjoy this. Okay. And
Thank
think of us
you.
every time you take a sip.
Yes. Thank
from
you.
it. But we're wishing you all the best.
Thank you.
Okay, in your
Thank
marriage.
you.
And thank you for your inspiring words as well.
Thank you for having
Okay.
us.
You're so welcome. It's the Mr. and Mrs. Show. Okay. Join us again next week for another new episode. And if you're watching out there and you want to come on the show, get to our social media pages, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. It's the Mr. and Mrs. Show. You can find us, send us a message. Maybe you know a wonderful couple that you think would be great to come on the show. We'll be happy to have them as well. And thank you to Curvy Woman Clothing for my dress and to HO Beauty Bar for the face, the makeup. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Much love to all of you.